Barry Allen. I am the fastest man alive.
Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? I hope having a good week so far. So today is Thursday, Thursday, 26th of March 2015, and do apologise about this review being a day later than usual. Yeah, I've just been very busy lately. It's Newcastle Film and Comic Con this weekend here in Newcastle, and my costume has arrived and all the other bits and pieces as well are here. So at the moment everything's being put together for it now, but myself and my girlfriend have just been sorting out a few of the accessories and stuff. So I'm going to test it hopefully tomorrow before wearing it again on Saturday. Some people already know who I'm going to be. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, one person has guessed right. All my friends on Facebook have seen who I'm going to be. For the rest of you, you probably will have to wait until Saturday. But so far so good. I'm liking it. I'm hoping it will turn out okay. So wow, I never knew cosplay was such a stressful thing. I really feel for the professionals out there. I don't know how they do it, but this is my first ever costume and I'm already nervous and excited and all the emotions basically. Anyway, sorry, review for yes, The Flash Rogue Time. Now, if you remember last week's Out of Time, you will remember how Barry Allen went back into the past. He time travelled into the past pretty much from the first sort of 10 minutes of the episode Out of Time. So everything that happened in that episode, from when Barry saw himself running alongside of him to the very end of where where Barry reveals to Iris who he really is, all that has now been erased. A new timeline has now emerged, and that's where we come into this new episode, Rogue Time. And the word rogue is obviously very prominent in that it features Captain Cold, Heatwave, Captain Cold's sister, Golden Glider, played by Peyton List, who was on the Tomorrow People, and also played Lucy Lane in Smallville. Really good episode. It's very, very good because now Barry realises that he's back at where he was. He tells Harrison Wells what's happened. Harrison, not surprisingly, now that we know who he really is, starts telling Barry, okay, so you've disrupted the timeline in some sense, and it's going back to the whole Flashpoint paradox, because we all remember what he did then. And for those of you who are wondering what Flashpoint paradox is, read the comic book and then watch the animated movie as well, because pretty much what we saw in last night's episode almost mirrors Flashpoint paradox. He goes back into the past, changes a few things, but the repercussions are greater than what they were previously, in that this time Cisco gets captured by Captain Cold, and Eddie and Iris, Barry reveals to Iris that he knows she feels about him in the same way he feels about her. That causes a problem, because then Eddie finds out and hits Barry, and that all plays off into everybody. And also at the same time, Barry's already captured Weather Wizard, aka Mark Marden, to save both Captain Singh and also Joe West as well. But Harrison warns Barry that no matter what you do, however small the changes that you make, it's still going to cause a rupture in for whatever happens in the future. But at the same time, Harrison doesn't want to know about the alternate future that Barry was in. He doesn't want to know about that because, well, he already knows what it's like. He himself is trapped in the past. He's from the 25th century. He's now in the 21st century. So he knows what it's like. Also at the same time, because Barry's acting a lot weirder than usual, he and Linda break up. That causes a bit of a problem. And it's just, for me, I thought to myself, what is going on here? And even at one point, he's on the cosmic treadmill, because we know that the cosmic treadmill plays a part in time travel, especially for the Flash in the comic books in particular. But he's on the cosmic treadmill, tries to see if he can regain that speed again, gets to that velocity, but doesn't seem to break through the time barrier for whatever reason. And Harrison is telling him various reasons as to why he was able to do it on the first occasion. You know, all sorts of things, his adrenaline, his emotions, all sorts, and his senses would have been higher and heightened because he was going really, really fast, and he actually had a purpose as well. If you think about it, he was stopping a tidal wave. This time round, he's actually trying to break through the time barrier for no reason at all, other than I need to get back to that time zone that I was in. On the flip side of this episode, as I already said, Heatwave, Captain Cold and Golden Glider in this episode, Cisco is heavily involved because we get to meet Cisco's brother for the first time, Dante, as well. So we find out that Cisco doesn't really like his brother much, purely because his brother is like, you know, according to his parents, he does no wrong. They're proud of him. He's their favourite son. So Cisco's kind of being pushed out of the frame essentially, and he does feel really. Well, he feels like an outsider. He doesn't feel he's part of the family anymore, and he was reluctant to go to his brother's birthday party. If you remember last week's episode when he and Harrison Wells were watching an old classic movie, and you know, Cisco was saying how he's avoiding going to his brother's birthday party because now we know why, and it was really good this time around to see that mirrored, parallel sort of universe, essentially timeline in a sense, because, you know, Out of Time was just, it was awesome, but it had a fair amount of tragedies in there. But then Rogue Time now, this is it. Whether or not Barry's going to go back to the point of what we had in Out of Time, I don't think he will, because if he does, Cisco's dead. Iris knows who he is. He and Iris fall in love. They stand in the other. And not to mention also, Bridge Mason meets his doom in this episode. He meets his doom. Not going to say who by or how. If you've watched the episode, you'll know exactly what I mean. That's the bit I'm not going to spoil for people, because that for me was a very important point of the episode. Very pivotal. And who knows... Excuse me. Sorry, yeah. Who knows how that's going to unravel later on. Because after that, well, again, not going to mention anything. But, yeah, amazing stuff. So, next week's episode, Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, the voice of the Joker in the Batman animated series and various Batman Justice League movies, is returning to the Flash as the Trickster. This was a guy who made himself so awesomely famous, obviously as in Star Wars, as we already know, but did so well as the voice of the Joker, and now he's going to reprise his role as the Trickster as he did in the previous Flash series back in the 90s. So looking forward to it, really looking forward to it, and we do get hints of his Joker laugh as well. I've watched the promo and it looks awesome. So I'll put the link of the promo obviously for next week's episode below, as I've done for all of them so far. You'll check it out and see what I mean. So I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, thank you all very much, and I shall see you all very soon.